Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Okay guys, I already put out a video about the Fusion earlier today, just doing a bit of a play test with him on the test server. The Fusion is live. We're getting all of the different events dropping in right now. Yeah, look, we've got the calendar out. We're going to go through the calendar, see what the event looks like. As I said earlier, I think it's like if you play this game seriously for any sort of length of time, type of pick up Fusion, right? It's one of those, you should pick him up. In his current state, he is one of the strongest clan boss damage dealers that's ever existed. Specifically, if you own a Wixwell or a Brogni, but mainly Wixwell, and or if you plan to own one in the future. So yeah, he's one of these shield growth absolute beasts. You know, literally like hundreds of millions of damage type of dude. Raid have said he's not on the chopping block for a nerf. They have said that in the past, and then they've nerfed champions in the past because the damage numbers are just through the roof. This guy feels like he's in the same camp to me, but again, I had a meeting with, we had like a conversation really with the Raid devs and some of their community team yesterday. So it was me, some other content creators. We're just able to have a bit of Q&A, talking about the health of the game, state of the game, all that type of stuff. Actually a really interesting conversation, understanding their viewpoint versus our viewpoint, and some things we agreed on, some things we definitely did not agree on, but you know, that's going to be the way that sort of stuff goes. Yeah, I mean, the one which was a heavy disagree for me was, you know, adding just straight away super rays into Minnow could ruin the balance of economy, and I'm like, no, just do it. But there's some stuff which I did agree with them on as well, so I'm not trying to like bash them here. But specifically, I brought up Titus and said, look, it feels like he's in that camp of OP. Have you guys properly tested him firstly? And if you have you seen what we're doing with him, you know, in like 10 minutes of using him on the test server? And if you have, is he on the nerf list? And so they say they've seen it, they tested him, and I think he's fine as is at the moment. We will see. The hope, the prayer is that we don't all do the Fusion, all get his 5-star souls, grind our accounts into dust trying to do it, and then the week after that, the nerf comes out. Because that would be, firstly, shady as hell. Secondly, there would just be community backlash like we've never seen before. So we'll see. Okay, quick update before we jump into the Fusion calendar then. So we've been sending out the GODFORGE alpha emails. Anyone who signed up to a beta or an alpha for GODFORGE through Fateless, you can come in. There's a short survey here to help us out with future game development, but it'll tell you how to get involved and when it's happening. The alpha starts, the first wave of alpha starts at the end of this month. I'm literally in like a friends and family experience right now, play testing, trying different heroes out, seeing it, basically giving a bunch of feedback around bugs and what's cool, what's not cool, that type of stuff. So it's well on its way. If, by the way, you didn't sign up to the alpha and want to be involved in the final wave, you can still go to fateless.gg and get involved. And we are doing quite a cool kind of like first place prize for, you know, like a community event of people trying to scale their way down the caverns to fight Fafnir, the boss. So yeah, anyway, that is well in motion, and yeah, coming along really, really well. Okay, then let's have a look at this Fusion. So Fusion calendar is out. There's a few things in here which are very unusual. Okay, I'm going to call that out now. Firstly, we've got 4 epics to gain. Each of the epics is a void epic, so you need to gain 25 fragments to turn into 4 lots of 25 fragments to turn into 1 void epic, and then you need the 4 void epics to turn into Titus. Little funny one actually. Back in the day, they didn't always do fusions with new champions. Back in the day, like 4 or 5 years ago, you'd be waiting for a fusion to come out thinking, do I already own the rares and epics that are going to fuse into this guy? And some people literally were fusing them day one. And it was a great day when you look at it, it's like, yes, I've got the champions, or I've got 2 of the champs needed to make this happen. Obviously, we don't do that anymore. They're always new. So yeah, we need 4 of Nom Yellowhand. It's possible that you could pull one of this guy you know, through void shards at some point. But there's so many void epics now that that's less and less likely. Obviously, the more there are void epics in the pool, the less likely it is you're going to pick the one out that you want. Which does mean then we're going to have to do a bunch of summoning. So we've got 3 summon events in this calendar. You've got a summon rush early, a summon rush on a midweek, and a champion chase next week. Now, as far as I'm aware, we've got a summon, ×2 next week due. So there's due to be a ×2 during this champion chase. I think it's going to be Sacreds. If it falls in line with what normally happens, it's going to be Sacreds, which is a bit of a bummer because you really want Sacreds for summon rushes to get those done efficiently. And we've got 2 summon rushes, which then lead into a champion chase. Now, it's worth noting for the champion chase, every one of these epics that you turn into an epic, so the fragments you turn into an epic, is going to be worth 350 points. And by the time we get to the champion chase, you should have just about enough fragments to do 3 of them. So you can earn about 1,000 of the champion chase points just from fusing the epics. And then obviously if you've got any additional champions from like Doom Tower or Hydra or any of those ones where you saved up the fragments, this would be the time to pull those to get yourself additional points towards champion chase. But yeah, you've got 2 summon rushes to try and get points. In total, there's 450 points up for grabs. If you don't do the additional summon rush, you have to literally do everything else. Okay, so it's going to be tight. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard fusion, I think, especially given that this champion is kind of busted, right? Which would be ever more painful if they actually nerf this guy after they said they won't nerf him. So hopefully they stand to their word on that. So a couple of other things. We've got champion training early. We've got dungeon divers early. Only 2 dungeon divers, which is good. We've got dragon, champion training, and ice golem all tie into the same dungeon divers. But even with all that going on, generally you need to use gems to get the dungeon divers done. And then at the back end, we've got dungeon divers with spider, fire knight, and a bit more champion training. So you've got kind of like 2 big bursts of energy to get those done. We've got 2 arena hits. That's just being active during the arena. The 2 champion training events, a lot of work can be done in the tavern. I've done videos that like calling out maximum efficiency for this. I might do a fresh one for tomorrow just because it's such a big fusion and some of those are getting a bit old now. So the vibe is the same. Nothing's really changed in it, but I'll just do a fresh one so that people could get fresh eyes on it. But yeah, champion training events actually are generally some of the easier events to finish. We've got 3 gear enhancement events, which is basically just spend your silver. There's plenty of places in the game where you can get more silver. You can forge trash gear, right? I could forge 10 pieces here. I can do it in a quick craft now, even better. So I could forge my 10 pieces, set my filters to sell anything which is not good, which will be all of this. It's costing me 10k silver, and I made 160k back, right? Trash gear in the forge is worth a lot of silver to you. We've also got the clan shop where you can spend your gold. Silver here is worth using, especially if you're a lower, like a free-to-player or something. And there's energy in here as well, which will help you out. Make sure you use your clan gold effectively at this time. But yeah, these events, pretty much, you should make the silver whilst you're doing your grinding to enable each of these events, there or thereabouts. So I know it's tough. It feels rough doing it, but you generally make your economy back whilst you're doing the events. A couple other things to call out. So if you want to farm efficient point scoring for tournaments, stage 20 of the dungeons is where you get most efficient points for your energy usage. Okay, so obviously if you want to just get better chance of better gear, then you can go into hard dungeons and do those. But definitely you want 100% teams, and stage 20 is the easiest place to get that done. Now the other thing to call out here is we've got a Corrosa tournament as well, which is the first time they've done this. So this is the event dungeon. It's hard. I've been farming whenever I do farm it on just stage 24. So I built a team, which I've done a couple of videos on. So I've been doing this kind of like Taragi team. Again, I could build a faster team than this. It's just one that I built for a video, and it's just been the one that I've used since then. So stage 20 is very achievable. Stage 24 is achievable, but gets harder. Stage 30 is really hard to build teams for this dungeon. So this is going to be an oddball one, depending on where you stand for corrosive farming, because it's quite slow as well. That's the other thing here. I mean, I suppose you don't have a lot more energy to use in between. You kind of finish all of these. You don't start your next dungeon divers until that's done. So I guess for these couple of days, that's just where you farm your energy. But do the high stage that you can do comfortably with 100% completion. But yeah, they've thrown this in there probably because the Corrosa event dungeon is not being farmed anywhere near as much as the other event dungeons were. And that's just because it's really bloody hard. I think that's what it's down to. So yeah, it's definitely one of the tougher fusions I've seen. 3 summoning events, the new dungeons in there. You can't really go wrong, or you can't really miss anything. Otherwise, you've got to do a bunch more summoning. Every summoning event really wants sacred shards. There's a lot of things which are against you here to make this pretty damn tough. But as I've said, and as I showed in the video earlier, this dude is kind of nuts in his current form. So anyway, good luck. I'll also pin all of the GODFORGE stuff down below if you're interested in that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.